Hello darlings, Megan here with College Uncomplicated. I wanted to start up today's video a little bit differently because we'll be talking about one of the most important aspects of your college career, picking a major. I think that this question can be one of the most exciting but also one of the most terrifying aspects of college. That's why I've got my big fluffy orange pillow with me. Orange pillow, you'll protect me when I'm scared of the future, right? I can't tell you what your major should be. Scratch that, nobody can tell you what your major should be. It's something that you have to figure out on your own. What I'll be doing is kind of compiling all of the information that I've gathered from my own experiences and from my friends' experiences in order to give you tips and tricks on how to figure out your major, as well as some questions that you may want to ask yourself when you're making this decision. Some colleges may ask you to actually declare a major before you get there, some may not. But as with any aspect of the admissions process, the earlier you start thinking about this, the better. Okay, first things first. What if you have no freaking idea what you want to major in? You are not alone! Pretty much nobody at the age 18 or 19 knows what they want to do for the rest of their life. But if you absolutely have just no idea, what I would suggest is start out with a career or personality test. You can find these online. I'll put a link to one in the description. It basically tells you your personality and then career fields that would be good for you. I can't say that these are like completely 100% accurate, but it definitely is a good place to start if you have no idea. Here are also a few questions you can start asking yourself and kind of reflect on. What classes, activities, or interests have brought you the most joy? What are your hobbies? What classes and subject areas have been the easiest for you? Can you see yourself doing any of those for 40 hours a week? Another issue that these questions may bring up is passion versus profit. Should you do something that speaks to your heart, or should you do something that you know will get you a job? Who knows what the right answer is for you, and who knows if there even is one right answer? This is a question that I really think depends on the type of person that you are. NPR did a segment on the most and least lucrative majors based on salary. The most lucrative range from different types of engineering, pharmacy sciences, and computer science, whereas the least lucrative greatly varied from psychology, social work, to fine arts programs. A lot of you may jump on this and say, yes, I'm going for engineering and pharmacy and I'm just gonna make all this money. You gotta ask yourself some questions first. Can you actually handle that type of program? Realize that we're not all made the same way. We don't all have science and math brain. So if you failed all of your physics and math classes in high school, you probably shouldn't be signing up for engineering. So many students just jump into these fields thinking that they're gonna make all this money when they graduate, end up flunking and having to change their major and then having to fight to keep their GPA up later on. And of course, the next question, which is an extension of that one, is would you enjoy doing it? Yes, you may be able to do physics. Yes, you may be able to do math, but would you want to do that all the time? If not, maybe that just isn't the career field for you, or maybe you should have a more balanced approach. You don't want to choose your major simply based on money, but you also don't want to choose it simply based on passion. Put those two mindsets together in order to create a more realistic view. How you can do that, which I suggest to a lot of my students and mentees, is by conjoining programs from different fields. One that can speak to your passion and one that is more practical. So that means you can either double major if you have time in your schedule, or you can use your electives to minor in something. For instance, at the University of Texas, there's a minor called the Business Foundations program, where you could learn basic business skills even if you were majoring something else. The New York Times actually wrote about this trend back in November of last year. There's a growing number of students who are taking this advantage. They're double majoring, they're minoring, they're studying abroad, they're able to take this extra time in order to make their 4 years at college even more worth it. But realize that if you want to double major, this is where the importance of AP tests come in. If you end up taking AP tests, you can get some of those basic classes out of the way and then have time to actually double major. Once you've answered some of these questions for yourself, there are definitely some other things that you can do to actually figure out what each major entails. The first thing I would suggest is doing your own personal research. A good place to start, which I know a lot of people already know about, is the College Board's Big Future website. They basically provide you with a step-by-step guide in order to link your interest to possible majors, to possible careers. Another thing that you can do is go to the US News Education site. US News creates one of the most important rankings for colleges. So for instance, if you're set on a particular college, but you don't know what they're really good at or what programs are best there, you can use this website to find out. Another way to research majors, which I thought was really interesting, and I actually learned when I was trying to figure out my major my freshman year of college, was to go to a campus bookstore. There you'll find all of the textbooks for each major. Just take some time and look through them. That way you can actually figure out exactly what you would be learning if you were to go into that major. Lastly, I would suggest making sure that you actually save room in your high school schedule to take classes that you think may be interesting that you may want to major in. Use your electives to your advantage. You can also sit in on actual college classes either during Thanksgiving, winter break, or even during the summer. That way again you would get a taste of exactly what you would be learning, what college is like, and if you'd even like that major. But honestly, there are some things that you won't be able to figure out on your own, and that's why probably doing some informational interviews would be a really good idea. So you should talk to some people who have gone through this process and even have gone into the career field already. One of the first things you can do is actually talk to your friends who have already gone off to college. Ask them what classes are like, ask them if they've already declared a major, and how they actually did that. Another thing that you can do that I think kills two birds with one stone is actually reaching out to advisors or professors in fields that you are interested in majoring in. That way you get your name out there, you show your interest in the program, and you learn exactly what you'd be learning because you're talking to people who actually run the program. Most of the time on college websites there's a section for each program or each major. Then you can get the contact information for the advisor of that program. Just email them, say that you want to talk about it, you're interested in the program and you may want to apply. From there I would suggest either setting up a face-to-face meeting, a phone conference, or a Skype conference. That way you can get all of your questions answered in one sitting. You can also talk to your friends' parents who maybe are working in fields that you're interested in. Just say, hey Mrs. Smith, I think you're really awesome and I'd like to talk to you about how you got a job like that. I can guarantee you that their story isn't just a straight shot from major to career. There probably was a lot more to it and you'd actually really gain some insight. But I'm sure you're wondering, do I have to figure this out now? The answer is definitely no. While I couldn't find the exact stats, most college websites do state that 50 to 70% of the student body changes their major at least once, and if not, up to 3 times. There is also a major shift in career trends. While again the exact number is up for debate, many state that the average American has 7 careers in their lifetime now. This means that the trend is moving away from the 1950s mode where you worked for the same company for 40 years to where you have a little bit more autonomy, to where you change careers more frequently. That means that the likelihood that all of your careers are going to be exactly what you major in isn't that high. Therefore, that means that while you're applying to college, you don't have to know exactly what you want to major in. Many colleges now are having undeclared or exploratory majors where you can actually use your first 2 years to kind of go around campus and figure out what you want to do. And you have access to special advisors who know a little bit about every major on campus so they can help you make the right decision. Just realize that each college is different. Like I said at the beginning, some do want you to declare your major when you apply and some don't. But I would say the more specific you can be in your application in regard to what program you want to apply to would really help. Okay everybody, thanks for joining in today. I hope you found this informative. If you have any questions, please comment down below. If you want to keep up with College Uncomplicated, please like and subscribe. You can also find us on Facebook and follow us on Twitter at College Uncomp. Stay tuned for my next video on picking a college. Excuse my kitties, they keep getting in the shot. You don't want to be on camera? No, you keep annoying me, you have to stay on camera.